Twist. Here we go. So I'm gonna start. Oh, this is a time of year where everybody's there's a lot of good reasons to pay attention to your neck tonight. So the neck, where we're how we're holding our head, right? And then also in through your lymph node, through your throat, and up into the sinuses. When you're congested, sometimes it's just nice to move some of that around, which I know the cold has blown in uh, all kinds of interesting things into the air. So let's just start here. I want you to kind of close your eyes and do just a little bit of therapeutic rocking. So I'm moving my weight forward some. I'm moving my weight back and just trying to sort of do this as effortlessly as possible. And as you move forward, as you move back, just see where you might be noticing tension, maybe in your hips as you move back or moving forward. See if you can begin to lengthen out your exhales just as you're letting the body rock. And then from there, let's go ahead and now just make this. You can keep your eyes closed, just a light sway a little bit side to side. So, again, there's no rush to get into bigger movements. Just pretend you're slow dancing with yourself here and taking a little sway. Again, noticing your back, noticing the hips. Good. Noticing how hard it is to kind of settle down, go slow. And now, if it feels all right, go ahead and make this movement. Take it around in a few circles. So, again, you can slow down as you need to. If you encounter a part of you that's tight or uncomfortable, you can maybe just hold there for a couple of breaths. Good. And now let's stabilize our torso and then let one ear and one shoulder move up together. Ooh, lots of adjustment there for me. And then move down together. So the ear and the shoulder coming up, the ear and the shoulder moving away. Good. So you can imagine just tissues of the body kind of melting. Inhale coming up, exhale releasing away. And then from there, we're going to take opposite hand to your elbow and just pull across. So you're creating a gentle little twist to your right and to your left. Good. And then let's let those arms just sweep in a circle all the way around. And then we'll let them circle, traveling in the opposite direction. Good. Hold your right wrist with your left hand. Take that arm overhead and pull gently to the left. Good. The arms can reach out in front of you now, opposite hand. And now I'm going to take my left arm and pull over to the right. Good. Inhale, let the hands come back in front of you. Interlace the fingers, move the thumbs down, the pinkies up. And then let's exhale, just pump and reach the arms out just a few times. Good. Move the hands on top of the head. And then again, you can sway just a little bit side to side, feeling a little stretch into the armpits. Good. Let's exhale. Change the cross of the legs here. So just let your other leg come in front. And then we're going to move your fingertips forward and let the chest lift, your throat stretch. Remember all of your lymph tissue up in here. And then exhale, round underneath. And then we'll inhale, sit it up. And exhale, rounding under. Inhale, moving up, moving forward. And exhale, rounding. One more time. Inhale. From here, as you're stretching forward, take your chin toward one shoulder and then towards the other. Good. And then we're going to walk your hands around to just the right leg. You can come down if that feels comfortable. So what I'm feeling now is a big stretch in the left side of my back. And now I'm going to let my left arm lift in the air. Take your chin down. Take your chin up towards the top shoulder. So you can try that just a few times. Staying soft. If it doesn't feel good to move your neck here, just put a hand behind the head maybe and support your head with your hand. And then we'll exhale and slowly, gently walk your arms around towards the other side. And again, now through the ribs and the hip, you should feel a stretch through the back. And then exhale, take that top arm up, your chin. You can look at the top hand and then the bottom hand. Good. Let's exhale and now follow the top arm up. And now open the two legs so the soles of the feet come together as your palms press, the shoulder blades squeeze back behind you. Then you feel the chest lengthen or chest open and the spine lengthen. Good. Exhale, bring the palms to your ankles for a moment. Reach the spine forward, press the heels together, and give that action just a few breaths. So really, really pushing the heels together here. And now we'll inhale, sit up. I'm going to extend my right leg to the side and then stretch away from it. Go let the head relax completely. And then I'll inhale, come up. This leg that I've extended, I'll go ahead and stretch toward it. The palm can come to face down. And then we'll inhale, sit up nice and tall. This knee, I'm going to bend it back of the extended leg. And then let my pelvis just rock a little bit, clearing out the hip. Let's pause for a few breaths, stretching away from the hips or stretching your torso away from your legs. We'll push right back up. I'm going to stretch towards my front leg, the left leg. Go ahead, wrap my gaze all the way around my body to see if I can see that toe behind me, the foot behind me. And then we'll exhale and stretch towards the back leg. Inhale, that leg we've bent back. We're going to pull it back into a Baddha Konasana. And just once again, rock your pelvis. Now steady the sitting bones and rock your torso forward, round and pull back. Good. And then take that in a circle. And circle the other way. So now I'm going to extend my opposite leg out. Open my arms, stretch, reach, and reach away from that leg. So this is my left leg now, and I'm making space through the left side. Really feeling the left femur relax down towards the floor. And we'll inhale, calm, sitting up. Take that stretch onto the other side, towards the leg. And we'll inhale, sit all the way up once again. My extended leg, I'll bend it back. And then a few times, just rock and roll the pelvis. Good. So I'm moving my tailbone forward, then curling my tailbone underneath me as I lean back. I'm going to hold the lean back now. Resting for a moment on my forearms. Try to make sure your head isn't being held back so you can take your gaze slightly forward. You just don't want to feel unnecessary strain up here in the neck. And then from there, I'm going to roll my weight toward my bent leg. Both legs are bent. The right one. And then I'm going to exhale and stretch, twist the other way. And now from here, this leg that's bent back, I'm going to extend it and bring my opposite leg towards it. So this is my right side facing the computer. I'm going to place my palms down on the outsides of my shin bones and take a second. Everybody point and flex your feet. So you can point the toes, reach away, flex and pull back. Point, reach away, flex, pull back. Point, reach away. Hold a little flex back. And then let your head just move a little closer towards your toes. So I'm going to make a little sack out of my arms and let my head rest here for a few breaths. You could do this with your elbows on your shins. You could do this with your head resting on your forearms. You could do this with your head resting on your shins, whatever feels good. So give a few really purposeful breaths there to your low back. And then we'll inhale, sit it up for just a moment. And then bring the palms all the way underneath your shoulders. Pull the elbows slightly back. And then drop the thighs down into the floor. From here, I'm going to slide some weight into my sits bones. Take my arms here to the shins, folding over once again with bent knees. So I'm kind of resting my head on my ankles. And then exhale, let's sit up and then slowly just melt your body down to the floor. So find a comfortable way to let the torso come to the floor and the knees come over your chest. So let the arms press down into the mat. And then we're going to extend your right leg and then lightly pull it back. So extend the left leg, feeling through the knee joint, and then bring the leg slowly, carve it right back in. Stretch and reach away, nice and low towards the floor and back. And then the left leg. Good. So now we're going to hold your right leg out and we're going to just lift and lower it a few times down towards the floor, scooping, pulling up, moving towards the sky. A long exhale can help you sustain a good strong lift. And from here, I'm going to fold the right knee in, let my left leg extend, and then lift and lower. So again, watching the leg, feeling the leg just float in the hip socket, and the belly firming to help you connect that movement. So that the leg can stay light. Let's now bend the knee and draw that leg in. With your two legs glued together, draw them in a little circle. So it's almost like a massage for your low back here. And then drawing around to circle the opposite way. Let's now open the arms out into a T shape and then take the toes together and then just rock the legs just a little bit. Take the heels now, squeeze together, and once again, you're just rocking a bit side to side. And now draw the knees together. Take the knees towards the right and your gaze to the left. And we're going to repeat this a few times, this time moving in the opposite direction. Knees going towards the left and your gaze going towards the right. Your belly button pulls in really deep to help you bring the legs up. We'll inhale to lower. Exhale to peel up. Inhale to lower. And exhale to peel the body up from the floor. Good. This time pause with the legs in the center. And you're going to tap one set of toes out into the floor and then let the other set of toes tap as the legs just float once again. So that light, slow movement is enabled by a deep engagement through your core. Let's turn this movement into now a nice little bicycling action. So the heels reach to the sky. And we'll reverse.
And then we'll let the feet float to the floor. Arms will pull down to your sides. Peel the pelvis up from the floor and gently lift. Hold this lift for a few breaths. Feeling the feet anchor into the mat. Shoulder blades anchor into the mat. Notice just where you can soften. Can the jaw, the neck release the space in between your eyebrows? Let's exhale, let that come down. And then we'll take the right ankle, place it on the left thigh. Rock the hips just a little side to side. And then push the left foot down into the floor. Let the pelvis rise up for a few breaths. Exhale, let the pelvis melt back slowly to the mat. Right foot into the floor. Left ankle finds the right thigh. Another light little bit of rocking. And then feel the whole right foot anchor in through the ball, through the heel. And then the pelvis lifts and you stay centered, grounded through that right foot as you lift. Exhale, slowly allow that to come back down. This time I'm going to let that configuration of my legs, the left leg crossed, comes over my chest, and then I'll lightly pull, apply a little pressure behind my right thigh. And then exhale, extend the right leg, once again pointing, flexing the foot. And allowing the ankle to circle. Just gentle, gentle. Then circling the other way. Let's let the two legs lengthen for a moment and just lightly sway side to side. And now we'll let the right ankle find the left thigh, and then we'll interlace the fingers here around the left leg. And again, just lightly rock. When it feels nice, you can extend the left leg, point and flex the foot. And then from there, we'll let the two legs just extend, let the arms float out. And then this time, try a little opposite circles. So the left leg pulls in towards the body as the right leg circles away. Seeing again if this can connect you to your core. And then the left leg circles out and away as the right leg pulls in. Let's now cross the right leg over the left. And then the legs can travel to the left, and you'll get a deeper stretch there in your back. Exhale, we'll let the limbs rise up. We'll change the cross of the legs, left over right, and then the legs float over to the right side. Your gaze goes to the left. Again, another exhale. We'll pull our limbs back up. Uncrossing the legs, rock one knee in as you fold over to the right. So, again, this is now a kind of passive stretch of the psoas. And another exhale pulls us up. We'll take the knees over the opposite way. And now let's let the two knees turn in slightly. So this will stretch the fronts of the hips. The feet are turned out. Can bring that back up. Let the feet walk into a neutral position. Take the arms up overhead. And then bring the hands behind the head. And then let's just gently lift the weight of the head with your arms and let the back of the neck stretch. Lengthening the spine back out. Let the head come to rest. Then we'll take the arms up and just roll to the right side. Top hand can move to your hip. Let's open and close the leg lightly. So the top foot presses into the bottom foot. You can hold the leg lifted. Take that knee for a moment a little closer to the armpit, a little stretch. Place the top palm of the top arm in front of you, and let this leg lengthen, bend, extend. So you're almost externally rotated, but it's like the movement of a bicycle. Again, make this as slow as you can sustain. And then changing the direction. And now, if it feels comfortable to leave the leg in the air, take the hand anywhere on the leg that feels comfortable and stretch. Maybe the hand goes to the foot. If it feels comfortable to kind of lightly rock. And then find that place where you can really balance. The bottom leg can extend. The top foot can now lower and press into the bottom thigh, top arm overhead. And then we're going to exhale and let the top knee travel down in front of you. Top arm can reach up out of the shoulder socket. Bottom knee can bend, and then the top hand can come towards it and really stretch the psoas. And then from here, that bottom leg just tucks under your top leg. And you can come sit up for a moment with the legs crossed. Top foot can pull back slightly. Let's create a little twist here. I'm going to twist towards the top leg. Look all the way behind me. And then that hand that's on the floor supporting me, I'm going to place it on my low back. Take my opposite arm up. Let my head rest for a moment in the hand. Let my chin float down and see if the hands want to lightly move towards each other. Again, always moving kindly, taking care of the shoulders. Try not to round the back. Exhale, release that out of the arms. Roll the shoulders for just a moment. Roll the other way. And then unfolding your two legs, we'll take our weight, come down onto the other side. Start with bent knees, maybe your top hand here on the hip, and let the knee open and close. Now take a moment to hold that top knee close to the shoulder. And again, light little rocking movements, just moving the tailbone slightly forward and back. Allow the hip to release a little deeper. Give that a go. Top hand can come to the floor. We'll extend, now bend, and bring the leg back in. Good, and then you'll reverse that. First, again, seeing how light we can keep the movement of the limb. And then pausing with the leg in the air, letting the hand slide anywhere on the leg, all the way down to the toes even, and let the leg stretch. And again, if a little light sway opens this stretch for you. We'll go ahead and pause now with the bottom leg reaching out. And now taking the top foot, letting it press into the bottom thigh. Top arm over the ear. Now the knee comes down in front. Oh, this top arm can lightly circle. And then maybe pause in a place, the arm reaching, extending away from the body. The bottom knee can bend, hand to the foot, and then you can slightly mount the hip that's underneath you just a little closer to the floor. Stretch your psoas. All those muscles long across, uh, stretching the length of the thigh. Now I'm going to just tuck my bottom leg underneath me as I push up. This top leg comes to fold over. And again, before I do much else, just lightly rock your weight a little side to side. And then feel your weight anchor down into the sits bones. I'm going to twist towards my top leg. Now the hand that's behind me, I'm going to let it rest on my low back, and I'll turn my torso back to face forward. Top arm travels up, opposite arm travels up, I should say. And then your head can rest for a moment in your hand. And then we'll let the chin move in. And then if it feels nice to let the hands walk closer to each other back behind you, give that a try. Only if that feels comfortable to your shoulders. And then once again, just releasing the arms. Take your hands, so we're going to dive towards that front leg, unfold, and then take a moment here just in a cat-cow. Inhale, let the head and the tail lift up. And exhale, let them round under. Inhale, head and tail rounding up, lifting up. Exhale, pulling underneath us. Up, up, up. And then right back down. Let the two knee joints move wide now. And the big toes pull together. And we'll just let the back lengthen out. So feel that the tops of the feet can really stretch. Space in between your ankles and the foot. Let that part of you just melt again into the floor. And then we're going to walk our fingertips a little bit further down the mat. Move the gaze up. And from here, slide the right leg forward so it comes just kind of behind the right hand. And you can feel the right heel moving towards your left hip. So we'll be in kind of a half pigeon. And then I'm going to take my weight and stretch myself all the way over the right leg. Moving back into the center. You can let your head and chest stretch up. Give this a few breaths. Good. I'm going to curl the back toes in, slide that leg back, and now let my hips and sits bones stay lifted as my torso melts into the floor. Once again, now I'll bring my torso back up and then slide the left knee so that the knee comes behind my left hand and the heel comes to the outside of my opposite hip. Stretch, lengthen up over here, and then begin to walk my weight over my left leg as you fold towards the mat. Well, and then from there, I'll let my hands press into the mat, stretch, reach up. And then pushing some weight back with my hands. Slide. This time, the top of my head will come to rest on the floor. And then I'll let my arms travel up behind me. From here, allow the palms, the hands to release. And we're going to slide and take your weight all the way down low to the floor. The hands reach out. Push into the hands, find a little back bend here. Bend one knee, reach it towards your head. So the foot pulls back towards your head. Exhale, releasing that switch. Let the head and the heel reach towards each other. And now head releases for a moment. And then your head pulls back towards your feet. You can bring the feet together and then let the knees separate and then rest your head for a few breaths on your hands. And then bringing the legs back in, just rock your back now side to side through your feet, just swaying. Let one leg bend forward, one leg pick back, feeling that connection through the kneecap, through the hamstring, through the glutes. Pause with your two knees bent and bring your hands to the ankles. Flex the feet. Pull the shoulder blades together. And then once again, bring your palms now to the outsides of the ears. Push and lift the torso up. And lowering back down, walk the hands just slightly closer to the body. Push and lift. And then melt back into child's pose. Good. So then from here, we'll just lift our bodies one more time. And slowly again, just find your way back down to the mat. And I'm going to take I'm pressing my palms into each other. Now I'm going to take my thumbs just to the insides of my eyebrows, the base of the eyebrow, right at the where the eyebrows meet the nose. And I want you to just apply a little pressure there. Kind of sweep out across the brow. And let the thumbs find your temples and let them rub just lightly. Let the thumbs now find right between the cheek and the ear. And just rub into the ears. And then now at the jaw. And then slowly let the palms open, let the legs open. And take just a few breaths. And then when you feel ready, just begin to lightly wiggle your fingers and your toes, circling the ankles and the wrists. Taking the arms up overhead, stretching long, right and left. Take a moment to hug the knees over the chest, rock the back. And we'll roll to one side and press up and find ourselves seated. Bring the palms together before the heart, bow the head, close the eyes. Your practice is a gift, everyone. Thank you. Enjoy your evening. Namaste.